Hey guys, so this is the first official video for the Agents of Mass Prosperity, and what I wanted to talk to you about, if you look at that water, you'll notice that those little bubbles are forming. Now there is no chemicals in this water, which means that those little bubbles pop very quickly, but the question would be, if there is no chemicals, what is it that's holding those bubbles together? And the answer is electromagnetism. You see, water is electromagnetically fluid. So as it rumbles around, all the water molecules are stuck together, not by chemical bonds, but by electromagnetism. This is why water has been studied in esoterics for centuries as being closely linked to the universe. So in looking at that, you see that the action, which is the water's electrostatic surface, it just means it's a surface that's stabilized by electromagnetism, which allows it to exert a repelling force of an electrostatic bubble, or a bubble created by magnetism and no chemical bond. So it creates a reflection, and then those reflections are pushed out of the way by the next instance of the beam. So these bubbles are created, and then they are pushed from the center beam out to the edge side, and then they're popped. But here's what we're looking at inside each and every bubble. Now, what happens initially is you get a water droplet that falls in the water, and the water, the electrostatic force of the water does the exact opposite of the water droplet. So the water droplet wants to go down and spread out, just like you would expect it to do if it was hitting the ground, but instead, the water actually pushes up and comes through. So if you were looking at this bubble is being created by a vortex that's being formed under the surface of the water based on the electromagnetism. Now in esoterics, this south side would be considered the dark or the feminine. It's the receiver of energy that creates a reflection, and the reflection of that input creates a bubble, which would be the light or matter, things like that. So it would be alpha, which is linear, and omega, which is actually a force that's coming in from all directions simultaneously, which creates the implosion, which results in the bubble. So the electromagnetic fields of a toroid, they look just like this. North field, which is flowing out, and then it hits, and it's being sucked back in. And from here, it's actually, the surface is going in, and it's also going in here. So this would be the feminine, the left, masculine, the right, and that just has to do with how energy flows in a system. And so that would be, your masculine creativity, feminine creativity. When they combine, you get, right, that point that rises and creates creation, or a bubble, or idea, thought, anything like that, any kind of electromagnetism, really. So the magnetic fields, they don't actually cross, they form vortices and combined into a single magnetic field. So what I mean by that is, you're probably familiar with a laser. Now a laser would be hyper concentrating, right, and then wrapping around to create a line of force. This would be like alpha squared, where the alpha and the omega, right? The omega is hyper compressed, right? Because if you take a sphere and you compress it down into a point, it becomes a line, just like the alpha. So it's hyper suppressed femininity and hyper empowered masculinity. You get this alpha squared energy, which is intelligence, devotion, transformation, determination, and dominance, because it is rooted. So it is a physical energy. Balance energy is both spiritual and physical, right? The masculine determines the height or the possibility of the civilization, and the feminine determines the use of intelligence and technology in creation. As the feminine energy is the primary mechanism of creation. So essentially the alpha creates a space of acceptance, which the omega naturally fills. Unless you live in a society like ours that is focused on domination and world dominance. So balance energy. Now, me personally, I'm actually on the omega squared path, which is the same thing as the alpha squared, but it's intelligence, devotion, transformation, determination, and ascension. So I really am not attached to the physical reality, just the way that I relate to things. I'm not really attached to anything, but I do find things beautiful. I'm very curious, and I do love looking at beautiful things, and I love seeing them transform. And so I have made the self-determination to help you also achieve ascension of spirit or thought, because as more people realize the ability for human intelligence and devotion and transformation and creativity, right? As these energies that every human being is capable of producing, we're going to find that there is no limitation to our creation. If there's no limitation to our creation, what stops us from creating better and better and better and better ways that work for everyone? And that's the idea. That's the whole idea of AMP, is to create a super creative atmosphere, a super supportive atmosphere, and a super enjoyable atmosphere, right? Expand people's minds, expand people's hearts, and expand people's strength through improving the quality and connectedness that they have between their body and their mind. And so that's all I'm trying to do. I'm trying to provide you with the extra feminine, kind, compassionate, loving energy that the United States has effectively killed with its survival of the fittest. So that works to a point, but you can't simply terrorize people until the end of time and expect that they're going to get better and better. At this point, the facade of survival of the fittest and the dominance game that's been played for the last several thousand years through the various organizations is finally coming to a head. And all that I would like to do is help people realize that they're not a part of some religion, they're not a part of some country, they're not even a part of a community. They're actually a part of the universe, and that all that they are and all that they ever could be is a part of the universe. And that as they understand the universe and electromagnetism, because electromagnetism is the only thing in the universe, they come to a clear state of harmony as they more and more closely resemble the natural state of water. Water exists naturally in perfect harmony with the universe, is why it's so loving and so powerful, and so transformative, and so very highly intelligent. So just wanted to share this with you. You are a liquid crystal superconductor made out of water, the only material in the universe that can resonate with supersonic frequencies, as well as light and electromagnetic frequencies that approach source. So a water computer is what you are, and you are capable of making a perfect reflection of the universe in all of its beauty, or you can follow and feed yourself garbage so that inside of your bubble is the ugliness that other people have planted there, rather than the beauty of the universe, which you are capable of reflecting at any moment, at any time during your life. So just remember, at any point, if you feel like changing, that's totally fine. There's no problem with that. And no matter who you are, I would definitely say that I would rather help you than let you suffer alone and to be rejected by a society which has rejected its own humanity as well as its own divinity. So I can't really follow that kind of logic. It doesn't work for me. It doesn't allow me to have the enjoyable experience of the universe that I would prefer. So I will either help change the circumstances, or I will be definitely leaving. So you have yourself a wonderful day. I want you to know that no matter where in the world I go, I still love you very, very much. And I will go anywhere that I feel that I can make the highest difference. Thank you so much. You are the universe, and you are worthy of prosperity and abundance. And I want to help make that dream come true for as many people as possible, starting as soon as possible. You have yourself a great day, and I hope tomorrow gets even better.